really understandable. I wonder why they went in for the Paquito, because it does not answer both the Uranus as well as the Marcel.
Yeah, it's pretty obvious now that you're most likely gonna consider this for either one of the carry positions in the gold or jungle. As the main go-to here. Might be too tough to play in the jungle that you might have already just shown your Eman card. Let's see if they have anything else to pull out of the bag. FUT Esports, I guess it will also make them think twice about banning out the Esmeralda. Even though it'd be great against them. You mentioned the Harley, it does get picked up. They have the Uranus and EXP. I guess it's like just for a quick hezzy for FUT. It's like, oh, do we still ban the Esme? Are we confident that this Paquito can still go XP? It doesn't really need to. They still have mid and gold that they need to pick up. They will be the first pick on the swing back. Might be good for them to lock in their mid laner and then just adjust their gold lane pick depending on how Bigatron by Vitality rounds out their draft in the blue side.
Yeah. Harley, overall, the good pick. I think the FUT Esports have managed to find their first 3 picks really well. What really just is scary is, will they find a good gold laner to finish this off? So they will ban the Brody. That means that we might just see a typical Moskov going up against the Claude matchup. At the same time, the flex is scary for BTR because this Paquito can be played in the gold as well. Now, that being said, BTR can just take away the roam. Oh, no, not really the roam. Actually, the mid lane
golds. Yeah.
Against a Valentina, you think always Gord or Jushin.
I actually like options. Yeah, I like those two. Those would be really good for FUT. Gord Harley has always been a terrific combo together, so that might be the prio. They take out the juice in. Maybe they might just commit both bans into the mid laner, but might be a little bit overkill. They'll need to consider at least 1 gold ban, I think.
Yeah. Well, hopefully it does not reveal anything. Well, one thing that will benefit them if they do focus on the gold lane bans, like Claude, for example, is that you will really panic if you're a FUT Esports. You might not have enough options in the gold lane. Let's just say the Claude is taken out, then where do you go next? You don't know where the Paquito is going. You can't just go for a carry because carry 4th pick, for example. That will not happen. They might even be required to last pick their gold laner because of how limited their options are and how scary the Paquito can be. So Hanabi ban, of course.
All right. Seems like we close it out with our Arlot Hanabi ban. Makes sense. And wow.
Yeah.
I mean, they won with the Hanabi
for BTR.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it feels like. It's, the trauma is real, but I mean, they were able to show up with it. Oh, here's a classic combo. I wonder if FUT Esports will think about just doubling down on all the combos for the Marcel. You get like a Kimmy in the mid, then you just get a Granger to round it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That could be an option, which means BTR has to brace themselves for that one. That means Ruby Senshin, is this what they're going for?
It looks like it, yeah. Like that's the only logical option. Unless they're not gonna send this Ruby to the EXP. Oh no, it could. Some players have done that.
Shogun did play it before.
Yeah.
And that means that Paquito can still be like, this is just such a flex pick. But then again, they will reveal their jungler soon. It's going to be Harith. So Paquito in the jungle XP Ruby, gold lane Harith, FUT Esports can still go for the Granger. They might be scared of the Granger versus Harith matchup. It's still a skills matchup the way I feel like it, but Granger overall is I would say a normal pick for FUT Esports. Maybe the strangest that they can do is a Moskov or a Claude, but the Granger just rolls in nicely their composition.
Good string of damage, poke, burst. Puts a lot of pressure onto Exi and Blotsvet for sure in terms of making sure the team is well protected. Wait a minute!
Oh, wait a minute.
It's a gold lane Esmeralda!
And you know what I don't like about this?
What?
This is FUT Esports, School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. No
that's true.
physical damage. This, it has not worked before. I doubt it will work now. It's not like even the case of a gold lane Harith where it's like true damage that it actually supplements. Marcel deals true damage for sure, but Uranus, Kimmy, Esmeralda, Harley, there's some true damage in there for sure, but this is like way too much magic damage that that anyone should be allowed with. I don't know, FUT Esports, you better play perfectly, otherwise they can easily be taken out in this game number 1.
On the flip side, there's a chance, slim at that, for FUT Esports to suddenly just snowball with all of this magic. That's one of the strengths. But again, that's a big if. Historically, lineups like these have turned into magic damage lineups versus radiant armor.
Yes.
Versus Athena's shield. And those items will just stop everything that FUT would want to do. Well, not completely, but it will delay the effectiveness of their composition.
I don't like this at all, and there are so many good vessels for the Radiant Armors versus the Athena Shield, especially because BTR went in for the Paquito, went in for the Ruby as well as this Atlas. And to be fair, you are already feeling the damage output of FUT Esports in the early stages.
Yep. This is what we're talking about when it comes to the magic damage compositions. They send the Uranus out. They understand that they have to operate through this timer. They have to play fast. They have to dominate early and get as much wins as they can. I'm pretty sure they're going to be hungry to get a quick kill onto Nile and delay the progress of this Paquito jungle as much as possible. Because if they cannot get those early wins, it's going to be a very harsh check towards their damage profile against the more balanced damage profile of BTR by Vitality. Blotsvet baits out the perfect match. Quick little stun there from Psyche, immobilized. Blotsvet getting chased down, and that's the Marcel down. Let's see if the damage will be enough to turn things around. Xy's gonna be able to take a Shogun. Psyche takes down Nile. It looks like they might be able to do it here on the early. A double kill for this Kimmy.
Okay, when we ask for them to play perfectly well, they are playing so well and aggressively too. Have taken over the Turtle and they are now taking some of the jungle camps for BTR. Blotsvet on this Marcel. It's always good that the Marcel is on a team that has early game snowball because of this. Actually can set up more. Nile is very tanky at this point, as well as Finn, but against Psyche as well as Blotsvet, they're running down the Atlas. Atlas able to survive for that. But the fact of the matter remains, they have stopped Nile from farming, and they will keep on doing this. I want to steal away the orange. I think this is the way that they're playing, that this should be played. Not only are you aggressive against heroes, but you're also oppressive in terms of controlling the jungle.
This feels like I'm watching a drive-by courtesy of Wizards. Instead of blap, 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 you're just hearing Aloha Mora and whatever the hell spell you know, and it's working out. I mean, they're playing around their conditions so well. I mean, this is why on the other side, we do have our doubts around this composition, but FUT, on the flip side that we mentioned, they know what they're doing. They know that they have to play like this. They know that there's a timer of, oh man, once those magic defense items start showing up, we're not going to be able to do this. So it's a question of how fast can they get their items for their Harley. Maybe if they'll put a Sky Piercer on either the Harley or the Kimmy at this point, just so that you can get that extra little kill power to get that out. And it's perfect. They know what they need to do.
Yeah. It seems like they have prepared for this specific moment. This is not their first rodeo. They felt like the Esmeralda could counter the Harith, which is true. It's nature of those heroes are like that. up to a specific point. I will not disregard what BTR can do with this composition though, but a 2,000 gold lead is commanding for FUT Esports to have.
Golden hour brought down here by Moreno as the Valentina Marcel cosplay. Just a delay. Get done by FUT Esports, but here comes FUT with their Esmeralda and their Harley. Shogun takes a lot of damage. Finn going straight for the Harley. Perfect match into the Fatal Links. It's the perfect combo with the damage. All of this magic. Drive by my magic wands. And it's too much for BTR by Vitality to handle. You're a wizard, FUT.
And very commendable usage of the traction pulse. Amazing usage and piloting coming out from Blotsfed on this Marcel. Didn't have the golden hour in that clash that they won with, but the way that he stuns and actually helps the Kimi and the other members of FUT Esports nail their skill shots by actually stunning their opponents is really good. Oh no.
Wow!
A great usage of the ultimate, but XE will be able to trade. Fortunately for FUT Esports, that was just the Marcel.
They didn't need to take that trade. RX trying to go after M1, but it felt like at that point he just got baited into it instead of committing an escape. But he didn't burn the Purify. He just paid for it with his life. XE now trying to focus on the turret and mid, gets cleared up by Finn and Moreno. Did the minion waves. FUT Esports, I think it's starting to bite back onto them. It might be getting to the point where BTR by Vitality have the tools to answer this, but they know they have to continue this pace up until they realize they can't. Then they need to start slowing things down.
Traction pulse committed. Shogun is able to run away. I feel like FUT Esports in general, if they keep on taking away the jungle camps coming up from BTR, it means like BTR cannot get into the late game, and their late game will also be delayed. Okay?
Wow! Perfect! Ultimate Fatal Links indeed. Double kill there from Moreno was a setup of the century here for Bigatron by Vitality. FUT Esports were not ready for that. Admittedly, neither was I. Did not expect BTR would pull the trigger like that and make it look so clean. They take 3 down and they'll get turtle number 3. Unless Kazue is crazy enough to try. He's way too far. Maybe FUT might just try, but Bigatron will be able to take this very quickly.
With their best. Blotsfed is here though. Going for the free moment, does not have the golden hour. Will just give away the turtle for that. RX wants to chase as well as Kazue, but it seems like BTR have just gotten out just in time. And I think that this is Blotsfed just making sure that he will keep on having the Thunderbelt stacks. It is important for FUT Esports to keep their foot on the gas when it comes to taking the jungle, but they cannot give away big team fight bets onto BTR, just like what happened in the bottom lane. This time they will try to push bottom instead of taking the orange. Now will secure his orange and will eventually get to his purple buff. But the reward for FUT Esports there was to get that push onto the bottom lane.
Moreno has been stellar in this game. 4-1-1, double kill in the last big fight. And FUT, they might just be reaching the point, that fork in the road, in terms of whether or not they can make this lineup work. They're getting pushed back. Little by little, the capability of their lineup to bully BTR by Vitality into submission, into their side of the jungle, is happening less and less. So maybe 1 or 2 big team fights to solidify whether or not FUT can still do this early on, because the longer they stretch out in the tank here in terms of magic defense, the members of BTR by Vitality get, the worse it gets for FUT. Finn decides to go forward. The Fatal Links gets countered a little bit, but Blotsfed is not going to be able to survive that onslaught. It is getting to that point. They're way too tanky. The magic defense. Moreno with the targeting of the Psychic, forcing out the Kimi. Kazue gets spotted out here by Nile. He's going to chase him down. This Paquito going after the Harley. Full-on combo. Fork in the road, and it is gone to the way of BTR by Vitality. Right in time for Lord number 1.
The moment that FUT Esports' formation was broken down by BTR because of that snag The Fatal Links committed on just one hero. It was enough. BTR, they understand the scenario. FUT Esports has to be complete as 5 when they wanted to win a team fight, but that does not happen, and they will try to stake this lord. They will be successful in doing so. Blotsfet will be able to run away. Every time that there is -1, coming out from BTR, FUT Esports will not be able to win the team fights. It will take the whole village of FUT Esports just to win, and BTR has found out that that is their secret, and what they'll do now is just to group up and take one after the other.
And BTR by Vitality's teamfight targeting, specifically Moreno on this Valentina, has been stellar. Single-handedly keeping Psyche away from that fight, getting 2 shadow strikes in towards the Kimmy, sending him out, and then suddenly it just looked really bad for FUT to fight into it. So BTR, even they themselves, they know their condition. It will reach that point, and we are finally there, wherein the lineup of FUT is gonna greatly struggle against the lineup of BTR by Vitality. Part of the confusion, and even from my own perspective, I have to admit, is the fact that you can't really tell if it's Blotsfet or Moreno's golden hour that gets dropped by. Of course, you can see the sign if you're the player, but not so obvious if you are from our perspective here. Look at Eman right under tower, doesn't care. Moreno get the last hit, but it was the Harith dancing beneath tower number 1 in mid through his own Zaman force that made that look easy. FUT Esports are getting dismantled. The Lord falls top side. BTR by Vit will continue their push, trying to take some tier 2 turrets.
It looked really good at the start, Redmar. It looked like FUT Esports knew what they had to do, but okay, Shogun is low. Shogun might die because of this, but he's still able to land the ultimate to get one. RX will be able to run away. Good shutdown coming out from FUT Esports. They will need more of those if they want to get back into this game, because as it stands, BTR are leading by a lot, and naturally the bottom lane as well as the top lane gets pushed by the big minions spawned by BTR.
Everything falls now on this Kimmy for FUT Esports, for Psyche to stay alive as long as possible, start getting some items in. Kazue, of course, will be there with the deadly magics, and that's where you could start it off. But the survival of this Kimmy is important for them to be able to turn this game around back towards their favor. It's even out somewhat, as that little win in the center now allows FUT Esports to open up the map. But in the next big sequence, Moreno will have the golden hour of the Marcel ready for Bigatron by Vitality.
And what this entails for FUT Esports is that they will need to go for this kind of play. They're looking for the target, Renmar, but Blotsfet already showed himself. Kazue is here. Shogun, not the best target, but if Psyche can participate in teamfight, it's going to be bad. But already, the golden hour is being exchanged. There's going to be a big -1 coming out from BTR. They weren't able to protect their Esmeralda, Renmar.
Without the Esmeralda, they lose a major frontliner. They jump now onto XC, who's trying to hold, but it's not going to be able to. That's 2 members of FUT Esports down. Bigatron by Vitality has found an opening. Psyche is now left behind around the Lord. Blotsfet and Kazuma trying to reposition better for the team. Blotsfet going straight after Eman. So Psyche just has a little bit more room, but Nile is looking towards the Kimmy. Zones him out. 3 versus 5. This is going to be too tall a task for BTR by Vitality. Unless somehow they can get close enough. It looks like with how Kazuma is positioning, they will back off. Bigatron by Fit gets Lord number 2.
Massive pick off, and then followed up by another one. BTR are just way too good when it comes to their positioning around the map, and they're dismantling FUT Esports. We talked about how FUT Esports needs to be together. We talked about how they should be the one oppressing the jungle of BTR, but all of that gonna be denied by BTR from that bottom lane win. They did. They were down by 2,000 gold, but 1 Fatal Links that caught 3 members of FUT Esports that had Purify, by the way. Still wasn't enough. It's because of Finn, it's because of Moreno. And now BTR by Vitality, they're poised to take the top lane turret.
Conceal play, Golden Hour gets dropped down now. Shogun brought down really low, but the frozen moment gets a help and Kazuya gets spotted out by Emma and the rest of Bigatron. Right under the tower with the Lord pushing in. No more Harley for FUT. Is the Kimi gonna be enough? Because the Uranus is not at the fate. The links from Finn is perfect. A slow dismantling into the harsh reality. Bigatron by Vitality have taken game number 1 despite the great start by FUT.